What's going on, everyone? My name is UnderTheRadar and welcome to the NPA. I'm super excited for this season. I'm super excited to have the team that I have. I'm super excited for just a whole bunch of stuff right now. However, this is going to be the week 1 team builder. We are going up against TheXSeption and the Tampa Bay Luxrays. If you do not know who TheXSeption is, his links will be down in the description below, as well as every other coach. So please make sure you go show them some love. Oh man. His team is already up on the screen. You can see he has a hard rain team. He has the TheXSeption, Pelipper, Kingdra, Bronzong, Zerork, Togedemaru, Mega Swampert, Shaman, Kabutops, Snorlax, and Heracross. Now, his team versus mine is very weird. And also, if you don't know how I do team builders, I'll real quick tell you, I don't just talk about what each Pokemon does. I think that does not show knowledge of what your opponent's team does well against yours. I think that just kind of is a cop-out. I like talking about what his team is good against, like what on his team does well against mine and what gives me trouble, and how I went into building the team. On his team, it's very important to note that he has some Stealth Rockers on there that are not the best. Mega Swampert, it's a good Stealth Rocker, not the best. And then he has Kabutops, not the best because they're both his Rain Sweepers. So Bronzong is going to be his primary way of setting up hazards in most games. Because of that, I want to try to take advantage of that. I want to try to take advantage of him leading off with Bronzong. On top of that, Zerork is a big problem for my team. It's a big problem for my team. So it's a little tiring trying to deal with that. However, I do have ways. And then TheXSeption is also something that is pretty threatening to my team if it's a double dance set. If it's a double dance set, I potentially could just lose as soon as it gets set up. That's the scary thing about it. But it does take a lot of damage for it to kill my team, and in order for it to run coverage, it has to run Thunderbolt, plus Hidden Power Ice, plus something else to hit Doublade, because Doublade can potentially live a hit from that. Same as Celebi, it can live a Hidden Power Ice from that. So I think it does have some pretty difficult 4-move slot syndrome. Aside from that, I'm not really worried about too much else on his team. I'm not too worried about his Rain Core, because I do have some answers for that. And on my team that's running to him, he has to be careful of Omastar. If he does not look out for Shell Smash Omastar with Swift Swim in the rain, it can reverse sweep him very easily. It's something that it can come in with a Swift Swim, set up on something like a Pelipper, like a Bronzong, like a Zerork, even Kabutops to an extent, because it does have very good physical defense, or even Snorlax, and it can set up, and with a Z move, it can blow back his entire team. So he needs to be very careful of that. I think he also is going to prep a lot for Landorus T. Even though he does have a rain team, his team doesn't like Rock Polish Lando T with Ground EMZ and like Stone Edge or something like that. So I definitely think he's going to be prepping a lot for that. So because of that, I have decided to prep in such a way that I'm going to try to take advantage of his lead matchup and take control of the game from the very start. The way that I'm going to do that is with Jolt the Thunderous Therian. I did decide to change the nickname on this bad boy just because Jolt is a very good friend of mine, and I think that he would appreciate it. But Jolt the Thunderous Therian is rocking a double dance set. Just as I said, his is very threatening versus me. It's very threatening versus him. If I lead off with it, I will outspeed everything on his team in rain with this speed investment. I will even outspeed most Scarfers, and I will be able to one-shot literally everything at +2 with the Electrium Z. So it's something that if he leads off with Bronzong, I can set up an Agility first, he can get scared, I can set up a Nasty Plot after that, and it's gone. The only stop to this is if he brings Togedemaru. Now, Togedemaru is a little bit of a threat to my team, but at the same time, I think I can deal with it just because it's so frail on the special side, and if rain is up, it's not going to be able to switch it on Scalds from my Vaporeon. It's not going to be able to switch in on consistent foul plays from my Persian. So I think I can deal with it, and if I Parting Shot into my Heracross, I get a kill. Because Heracross gets a kill literally every single time it comes in, and that's pretty great. This special attack investment allows me to one-shot pretty much everything at +2 is kind of the way I EV'd it. I didn't really want to try to EV it to Oko everything in neutral, because I plan to set up with this thing early and use it as like a breaker. So that's kind of where that is. But overall, this thing, it's going to be my main lead. I'm not going to worry about Stealth Rocks this game. I may not even try to get them up. I'm going to try to just set up with this turn 1. And if he doesn't have Togedemaru, I could potentially sweep him. If he doesn't have JerryOak, I don't have to play mind games with Disguise, anything like that. But this is going to be my main lead. Then, since this is going to be my main lead, and I'm hoping that it'll be able to break down his entire wall core, I'm bringing Scarfed Raibombi. Now, Scarfed Raibombi is a very interesting bring this week because it outspeeds his Rain Sweepers. It outspeeds Modest Kingdra. It outspeeds Jolly Swampert. It outspeeds Jolly Kabutops. It outspeeds a lot. And with Energy Ball, Moonblast, and Bug Buzz, it can OHKO so many of his offensive threats. It can OHKO Kingdra, it can OHKO JerryOak, it can OHKO Mega Swampert, it can 2-hit KO Defensive Shaman, it can OHKO Kabutops, it can OHKO Heracross. So like, this is a very good way of dealing with his offensive threats, while this deals with breaking down his defensive threats. That's kind of the way I wanted to go about building this team. So these two together can form a very good offensive core. And then I kind of wanted to build the rest of my team around a bulky core of pivoting with just some sheer power. The speed investment on this does allow me to outspeed Modest Kingdra, or not fully invested Timid Kingdra. If he runs like Timid with like, I think it's 200 speed EVs, I still outspeed that. So it's a very good chance that this will be able to outspeed Kingdra and pull off a surprise KO with Moonblast. So I do like that. And then the special attack investment, just so I can hit as hard as possible. Then we have our Mega Heracross. Mega Heracross is probably one of, if not the best Pokemon in this game, because with Parting Shot, nothing on his team can one-shot me. Except for, I think, Specs, Kingdra, and the Rain with Hydro Pump. And then, like, Hurricane from Pelipper. I think that's the only thing that can kill me. But everything else just bounces off of Heracross and it gets a kill with Close Combat, Rock Blaster, Pin Missile. It's extremely, extremely fat. I have a lot of HP investment to be able to take hits as well as I need to, while still having an Adamant Nature with 92 special attack investment. That allows me to kill Pelipper, I think it's most of the time. Let me go ahead and import this team real quick, just so I can know for sure. Yes. Just so I can show you guys exactly what it's meant to do. Versus, what is that thing called? Pelipper? Physically defensive Pelipper, Rock Blast, does 88 to 102. So that's if it's fully Phys Def. If it has no physical defense investment, it guaranteed kills it with 5 hits. I have Skill Link, it will hit 5 times, and that's amazing. I had 118 speed because, as you guys can see right here, Modest Kingdra hits, Modest Pelipper hits 117. So if he's like Modest Specs, or Modest Damp Rock, or Modest anything, I can outspeed it. And if he has max speed, he can't have max defense, and I will one-shot it with this Heracross. That's the only real EVs that I needed to hit. Everything else, Mega Heracross just kind of sort of shows up and says, hey, I get a kill. So Mega Heracross is very, very, very strong. These Pokemon together are going to kind of sort of form a very nice core. It's going to be this early game to try to break, this late game to hopefully clean up with either Moonblast, Energy Ball, or Bug Buzz, and then this combined with my other 4 Mons in the mid game to try to consistently wear down his things if Thundy just doesn't sweep him. But yeah, that's about where this spread came from. So next, we have our Alolan Persian here. Now, I know you guys are instantly looking at this set and you're like, Kelly, what on earth are you doing? Well, first off, I did not want to lower my special attack because I am rocking with Thunderbolt here. And because of that, I did not want to weaken myself versus Pelipper. I also guaranteed outspeed Pelipper. If you guys look here, with a Timid Nature, it hits 128 speed, and I had 129 speed with the 68 speed EVs. I didn't really have much of another choice with that. I am running 180 HP with 252 into defense to make me as bulky as possible with the Fur Coat ability. And then Parting Shot, Taunt, Foul Play, and Thunderbolt. If I see Togedemaru, this is going to be my lead, more than likely, because I can taunt his Bronzong, prevent him from setting up screens, prevent him from setting up Stealth Rocks, prevent him from doing a lot of different things, honestly. And then I can just go ahead and Parting Shot, Foul Play around and do whatever I need to do. The only problem with that is if he does do that, and he also brings Thundy, it's going to be very hard for me to deal with Thundy plus leading off with that, whereas if I lead off with my own Thundy, I can set up and I can deal with his Thundurus. So that's this Alolan Persian. Very, very, very cool set. Just as bulky as I possibly can be, also having the 68 speed EVs to be able to guarantee outspeed Pelipper with a relaxed nature. But yeah, Thunderbolt is there just for his Pelipper. And then Foul Play to be able to hit Mega Swampert. Because if it's like Power Up Punch Mega Swampert, even in the rain at +1, it doesn't one-shot me with Waterfall. I can hit Foul Play and it does like 80% to it. So very, very, very cool Pokemon. Excuse me. Next up, we have Celebi, named after Kyleaye. And this is also named after Leo, aka 6-Foot Hacks. This is named after Ultra Player, and then just Bay. So this is going to be another check to his physically defensive mons, like Kabutops, like Mega Swampert, like even Zoroark to an extent. It can't do a whole lot to this. With U-Turn, Stealth Rock, Recover, and Giga Drain, I'm able to wall out all of his physical Rain Sweepers, Giga Drain them to one-shot them, U-Turn out, I can recover in the rain. This is why I like Celebi as a bulky grass type, because it's able to recover in rain and still get 50% of its health back, and that's really, really nice. And then Stealth Rock, of course, just to give me that chip damage if I need it mid-game. 68 speed EVs, again hit 129, guaranteed outspeed Pelipper to be able to recover off if I know that it's going to be able to hit me with an Ice Beam or something like that. The only time it really came in handy was whenever he was a fully defensive Pelipper and I didn't outspeed it and he went for Roost, and I wasn't able to do a whole lot to him because he went for Roost and sought his flying typing, but I'm fine with that because I do still have a bunch of different answers to Pelipper on this team, like Thunderbolt here to be able to outspeed it, Rock Blast, things like that. But pivoting is really, really nice versus this team. It's able to scout out what he's going to do with U-Turn. Giga Drain is really, really nice. And then this allows me to not be 2-hit KO'd by Adamant, Mega Swampert's Ice Punch after Stealth Rocks. Pretty good. So my next mon is pretty much my designated special wall to all of his special mons, like Kingdra and Zoroark mainly, because there is main 2 special mons that I don't have the best switch-ins to. Oh, this also switches into Thundy pretty well. Pretty well. Not the best, but pretty well. I wanted to run something like Ancient Power to be able to just nuke it, but that didn't work out. I wasn't able to fit it on here. I need all these other moves. My best way to not let Thundy set up is just to never give him a chance to. That's about it. But then we have Link's Forte, the Vaporeon with Wish, Protect, Scald, and Toxic. Specially defensive, pretty much, just to be able to not be 2-hit KO'd by Specs, Kingdra's, Draco Meteor in the rain. It's not able to be like 6-hit KO'd by Scarfed Zoroark's Dark Pulse. It's just overall a very, very, very fat mon. So, fat pivoting with Mega Heracross, and then Wall Breakers early game. That's kind of how I'm going about this game. It worked out pretty well in mocks. I only lost 1 mock out of like 6 or 7 of them. But yeah, it worked out pretty well. The only thing is, Ryan is a very hard person to prep against. He is a very hard person to expect to do anything because he's kind of crazy, and he brings whatever he feels like bringing, even if it may not make a lot of sense to somebody who isn't in his brain. Because in his brain, it makes a lot of sense and he makes it work. But somebody who isn't in like his brain, it doesn't always click right away. But yeah, with that, guys, that is going to be the team. I hope you all enjoyed the team builder. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.